Welcome back. Beautiful Monday we have here, and we got some news to cover today. First of all, why do I have the rankings here on my screen? Because we're going to go dive in real quick. I'm not going to fluff around because one thing you're going to hear from me a lot is the heavyweight division is dead. This is the one topic I want to talk about before we move on to Dana White saying that the white card is done. Congratulations. But I also need to talk about Tom Aspinall's eye injury. I get it. I'm late to the game. All right. We hadn't had any news last week. I've been out. My internet was down over the weekend, so I couldn't really do much. Any recording, no nothing, couldn't upload. So I do apologize. All right. But fight this week, Sean Strickland versus Fluffy. I will give out my predictions for that fight. But first thing first, we need to discuss one thing. The heavyweight division is a dead division. We need to bring back steroids. We need to bring back stars. We need to bring back something. Because one, there are 4 people in this list that I really want to talk about. 5 possibly. Okay. Number 1. We've seen the news. Jailton Almeida is cut. He is cut from the UFC. Completely gone. And I do not know how I feel about this for one reason. Look, Jailton is boring. He was 3-3 his last 6 fights. All right. And he does not do anything to improve. He has his power, but doesn't know how to use it, man. He doesn't know how to punch. And I don't know what to do. Like, if I was his coach, I'm like, bro, you got to make this entertaining. How are you getting tired by the second round? And then his solution after this is like, they might go down to light heavyweight again, but you're gone. You're done, dude. I'm sorry to say this, but I don't like this decision. And I'm going to tell you why. The only reason why I do not like this decision is because we got Tai Tuivasa, who is still somehow in the UFC. He is not currently ranked, which I'm actually very surprised because the other time he was still. But he's still fighting in the UFC. Like, it just doesn't make sense. How is Tai Tuivasa still in the UFC if Jailton Almeida is cut? Tai Tuivasa is on a 6-fight losing streak. It's absolutely absurd. And I don't know what to bring about this, talk about it. Like, I don't know how the matchmaking is. This is a clear sign from the Paramount era that they are not doing any boring fights. But Tai Tuivasa isn't as much exciting either. Yeah, he's hard to knock out. Yeah, he's a fucking bomber when he hits his hands across people's faces. But we gotta also come to the conclusion, like, this dude is just losing. He's just a punching bag. His last fight was horrible. We talked about it in the last video and my whole reaction to it. It was not good. And that whole heavyweight division has just been in a spiraling downward ever since pretty much Francis Ngannou left. First, we had a John Jones waiting for 2 or 3 years, pretty much holding up the division. All right. Then we had him fight against Stipe Miocic, who lost his last fight, got knocked out by Francis Ngannou. All right. And didn't want to fight the interim champ against Tom Aspinall. Then we had Tom Aspinall waiting over almost 2 years, had to defend his interim belt against Curtis Blade. And we got nothing. We didn't get the Tom versus John Jones. All right. What we got was Tom versus Ciryl Gane, which unfortunately people are hating on Tom Aspinall. It does not make sense. I don't get. Ciryl Gane is walking out freely with no hate. I'm not trying to spew any hate on him. I'm not biased for Tom Aspinall. I hate this division. If I was Dana White, if I was Sean Shelby or a Hunter, I would have cut this division. I'm being honest with you. All right, they just don't put any actual revenue into the company. Right? This is a business end of the day. They're not making money. No one's watching the heavyweight division. It is the most unathletic sport you could possibly see. Heavyweight boxing is so much superior. All right. But the MMA skills going up the weight class diminishes quickly. All right. The last really high skill division up in the heavyweight class really is the welterweight, right? That is the highest. Middleweight drops down significantly. Light heavyweight has Alex Pereira and Gia Prohaska. But to name them anyone outside of those two, you really can't. All right. Jean has been in an awful, weird sketch of his past 4 fights. Draw, losses, draws. One of those losses shouldn't even count. Michael Mankalaev, come on, really? Like, he's a good fighter, but not entertaining, not really high skill. Okay, and then heavyweight, you had the two best guys, Cyril Gane versus Tom Aspinall, but you got Cyril Gane who poked Tom Aspinall's eyes, who bro can't even see. He's having a surgery. He's literally having trouble. He can't even track any moving art targets with his eyes. You're in a sport of fighting. Okay, and I hate to say this, but a lot of people think he's overreacting. But hey, man, if you're going through all this trouble for surgery and trying to play it through all stuff, look, trust me, there ain't no overreacting at this point. Do I think maybe? Because look, one great eye poke that dude recovered, became champ later, was Bilal Muhammad. That was a really bad eye poke. I remember him having surgery. I might not recall, but still, that was pretty bad. There's a lot of flack that Tom Aspinall has been getting recently, but I just don't see why. You know, Cyril Gane is obviously the one who poked him in the eye. It's just absurd. The idea that the one person who got eye poked gets deflacked, and the one who poked him in the eye, he's all good. All right. Anyways, my conclusion from all of this is that I do think Tom Aspinall will lose his next fight because of this. It's just going to affect him mentally. He might not have 100% eyesight. He might have to fight just to make sure he has another paycheck for his family. Dude's career is literally on the line that he might have to retire. And I don't like to see that. As much you could hate, these are individual people. They're not a sport team, right? They're fighting just for their family and their dream. This is an individual sport. Hating someone like that, I just don't get it. I really don't. Look, in the beginning, when I saw that first fight, he got poked. Yeah, I was crazy, all right? I was saying, like, how are you the true champ? You should have to fight on. All right, I was in mixed emotions because we waited for so long for this fight, like for Aspinall to come in, for the heavyweight division to continue, right? This is a dead division, and I was hoping for some traction. But getting this type of result is awful on multiple parties. Obviously, Dana White does not like Tom Aspinall for whatever reason. Was it because his favorite fighter, John Jones, was getting all this flack from Tom Aspinall, and he probably had this fear that Tom was going to beat John Jones, which we still don't know to this day, right? I can't come out here saying very conclusive that Tom can beat John Jones, but from what I see, I think that's what Dana White was really worried, because Francis Left screwed him over, and he was worried, like, if Tom Aspinall goes and beats John Jones, he's going to get screwed over. I don't know. Like, I don't know what goes on in his bald-headed head, but all I see is, like, he has a lot of hate on Tom Aspinall. He really does. For what reason, right? They bring up his name in an interview, and you can already see his face. He's like, oh, gosh damn, not this again. But I just hope that Tom Aspinall comes back better and beats Cyril Gane and moves on to division, all right? Because from what I see, they might do an Alex Pereira versus Gane. I need a Alex Pereira and Gane. This is actually something they might pull it off. Okay, where is it? Yeah, here you go. This is not actually real. This is a fake account. Zuffa Boxing. Yeah, and it seems like it. Yeah. Well, This is fake. Just want to clear this up. This is not real. However, this might likely happen if Tom Aspinall isn't able to move forward with the division. Ciryl Gane might have to fight Alex Pereira for the heavyweight belt, and I'm not going to lie. I think Alex Pereira beats Ciryl Gane. Again, this is not real. We still have no idea what's next. But if Tom Aspinall is not able to continue, which has already been 4 months since his whole eye surgery, we don't know when he's going to be able to recover. It's probably going to be another 4 months before we get any news. Apologize. Water break. But this is what mostly is going to happen if nothing happens. Alex Pereira, obviously, we have no fight news. It's been a while since title fight. Or this is like back in the day when we saw him 3 times. By now, we would have already known when he was fighting next. But he is obviously taking his time. He's learned his lesson, and he's probably in this transition. And is like, if I were to fight my belt next, would it be against Magomed? I already beat him pretty quick. I don't want to go on a trilogy. Unnecessary. I already beat Jerry Prochazka twice. No reason to give him a third chance. And you're really going to give him Carlos Ulberg? Look, Ulberg is pretty good dude. He's all right, but he's not going to do anything to present no danger to Alex Pereira. For him, it's going to be another free title shot. Title defense, not title shot. So I do think Alex Pereira is going to end up moving up the division. He is about to be 39 this year. He's not getting any younger, and he might pursue for that third belt. The first time ever in the UFC history. And this is his best chance. I don't think that he's going to beat Tom Aspinall. But against Ciryl Gane, I do think he does beat him. Ciryl Gane isn't going to wrestle him heavily, even though he did against Volkov, which he lost against Volkov. Let's just be honest here. But I just don't see Ciryl Gane presenting that against Alex Pereira, which they're probably going to end up doing a lot more of a striking and kickboxing matchup, right? Both of them are heavy strikers. Ciryl Gane's probably like, okay, I don't want to wrestle. I just want to knock you out and prove that I'm better. And then Alex is going to starch this motherfucker. But we move on. The last thing I do want to discuss is this. This was said last night at the Zuffa Boxing. Dana White said, and I quote.
And then obviously, look, you had the matchmaking for the White House. I know you're not announcing anything tonight, but I'm sure you have a framework and an idea in mind of what that card looks like. What can we expect? How many title fights? What does the White House look like?
We have like 2 different options laid out, and the matchmaking process has already started. So, yeah, we got the White House card done last week.
The card's done already to go?
Yep.
Nice. How many title fights are you able to say?
No. Okay. I'm not. Yeah.
All right. This is good news. This is really good news. It looks like the White House card has been done last week. They have 2 options moving forward, which I'm going to have to be speculating. The Ilia Topuria versus Justin Gaethje, that is 100% confirmed. Is that the main event? I do not know. I don't think it should be. And the only reason why is hypothetically, we know 2 people who want to fight each other. It is the John Jones versus Alex Pereira. They need American fighters in this card to win. All right. If John Jones fought against Alex Pereira, look, I'm going to just be straight up honest here. I think John Jones beats Alex Pereira. He is just a different mentally person than Alex Pereira. Pereira might go in there seeing red and saying that I'm going to knock this guy out. Well, guess what? This guy isn't going to go out and knock you out. He's going to take you down and sub you. He knows your weakness. He will expose you. And I don't think that John Jones is going to come in playing as the enemy. I think he's going to play a lot more friendly approach to have Alex Pereira's guard down. Just because, like, there's absolutely no reason to hate each other, right? The only thing is that obviously Alex Pereira did call him out in that tire shop, saying John Jones is next. Obviously, John Jones is one to really get psychologically in his head to create this animosity towards his opponent. Like he did with Stipe with this whole children thing, which Stipe never said it. He just came up with it on the spot and literally just made himself self-believe that Stipe was attacking him by comparing himself his situation with his children, which just shows his type of character. They're like, hey man, he didn't say that. You just have the insecurity that you know that it's the truth. And you yourself made up somebody said it. Instead, you actually said it to yourself. But that is for a discussion for another day. However, the two options will go. I think Dana White is literally waiting for the Tom Aspinall situation before he gives Alex Bejeda either John Jones or Ciryl Gane. Personally, for me, I would actually not have John Jones in the card. It's too much of a risk to have him pull out. That happened again previously when he tore his muscle. He's popped from drugs before. He's been out of the testing pool. Now he's back on it after he initially retired. And the whole problem is the situation is that hypothetically, like if John Jones wins, does he retire again? Like, is Dana White going to literally have that situation like the Jose Aldo? Look, the best scenario for Dana White, like in his head, is probably Alex Bejeda beating John Jones. But does Alex Bejeda fight for the heavyweight after that for the belt? I mean, if he beats John Jones, he might as well, right? Like, he might as well go and say, like, you know what, give me a title shot. Give me have Tom Aspinall vacate the belt, take away the belt from him, and fight against Ciryl Gane. That's probably the best scenario because I just don't see any other solution. But Conor McGregor coming back, I don't think so as well. Who is he going to fight? Michael Chandler? He's already canceled that. He already said in previously interviews like he's not having a Conor versus Michael. Unfortunately, Michael kind of screwed himself waiting for that long, and he has lost 2 fights in a row. So it's like, yeah, you just lost it, kid. And I hated to say, but Michael kind of just fell into Conor's trap, right? He should have fought in other people during that time. Gotten more fights, gotten more highlights, gotten the same amount of pay he would have gotten. So I can't really predict who's going to be in there. There has been some leaks, and Dana White has shut them down. But this is actually good news. My only problem is while the White House has been done, quote unquote, we don't have any news for April. But that will be the end of the video. I just want to bring back up. I'll make another video about tomorrow about the current state of the UFC. There's not being no cards coming up in April. Nothing has been confirmed, and we're only 7 to 8 weeks left. All right. And this is a problem with the White House card. But thank you. Have a wonderful day, and I'll see you on the next. Peace.